Figure it out. Figure it out. You need to figure it out.
Figure it out, man.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. All right? Figure it out. Just figure it out.
The love of God, figure it out.
Welcome to the FIO podcast. I'm your host, Mason Kleiss, and I'm here with Robbie Straub again. If you don't know what FIO stands for, you need to figure it out. Rob, how are we doing today?
Bro, I'm great.
You don't sound very great.
I'm sipping on some whiskey, drinking some Stella, eating some beer cheese.
It's a lot of alcohol. A lot of alcohol references right there.
What can I say, man? Alcoholic.
Yeah, everyone knows the rule. Once you graduate college, you're an alcoholic.
I haven't graduated quite yet.
Oh yeah, you're technically still an undergrad, but it's just a different undergrad. I remember you explaining that whole thing to me.
Yes, sir. I just want to shout out Corbo Stevens. Dope.
You had to throw her out there.
Yeah, I told her I would.
What up, Corbo?
She's a goat.
You're dating a goat?
Yeah.
That's
Real live goat, actually, yeah.
Has she started track season yet? I have no idea when that season is.
No, well, not yet, no. They have like a winter season, so it's coming up.
Isn't it like a year-round?
Stuff.
It's like a year-round thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. Shout out Corbo. Hope you do good this year. Hope the Pats take home the gold.
Not fuck the past. I just hope Corbo eats. That's it.
Bro, we're a little late to this, but did you see the Patriots beat Union 98-0?
Yeah, I was in town that night.
Was that alumni weekend? Was that when you were there?
No.
Or whatever that was?
Alumni weekend hasn't been there yet. Alumni weekend is Hurley's wedding, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's on 2 weekends.
The whole Pats by 90 thing, really, they took that serious, I guess.
Yeah, it's super weird, but, I mean, whatever. 98 is pretty sick.
Like, imagine being on the other team. Imagine being Union. Like,
Our head coach, honestly.
I feel like I would quit. I would never play again. That's just so disheartening.
I know, I would never want to play again.
That's like that one, in Division I. Georgia beat that team. Was it Arkansas State or something like that, where the coach's wife died of breast cancer? And then they lost like 55-0. Oh my gosh.
Damn, bro.
Like, that's just like a series of unfortunate events. But how's your week been?
Dude, my week's been great.
Is that sarcasm?
I've gotten back 3 tests, man. A 90, an 88, and an 82. I mean, you can't get much better than that. I drank 6 pitchers today with my boy D-Money and Clay from the BFL. So, I was feeling good. Went to class after that. Fucking fell asleep because I was fucking drunk. It was a good day.
That sounds like an eventful day. Sounds like a good week.
It was a great week.
Well, I'm jealous. Mine was
What
just...
about you, dude?
I started a new routine at the zoo, so I'm not working. They started me out in reptiles, which was, my forte, so that was kind of a comfort zone for me, and I was having a good time. But now they have me on mammals, and there's like these giant pigs called Osabog Hogs. Like, you know that island where they go and swim with the pigs? People go swim with the pigs? You know what I'm talking about? Rob? Having a little technical difficulties here. Anyway, they're Osabog Island hogs, and they get about 400 pounds, and they're massive. And there's about 7 of them. And they can be kind of scary at times. But I'm not sure you can even hear me right now. We got Robbie back. Had a little technical difficulties there. But anyway, I don't know if you heard. Did you hear anything I was saying?
No.
So basically, I work with these things called Osabog Island hogs, which are these
Oh, okay.
massive pigs. Like, have you seen those pigs that people go swim with and take pictures with?
Yeah, like those. Yeah.
It's those, but they're like massive and they're scary. But and there's these things called javelina, which are like peccary, which are like big. Like if you ask Marcus Munoz, he would definitely know they are. He hunts them. I've seen them in pictures. They're just
Yeah,
like
they're the raccoons of Arizona, he says.
no, those are quadrimundis. Those are different. Which
Nope.
we have those too. Or was he talking about peccary?
He was talking about those ones that you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, they're freaking scary too. They got the big teeth and whatnot, and they chat them together. And then I work with this other thing called a guanaco, which is like a Mexican alpaca llama mix. And if you piss them off, they spit at you. It's not a good time. And like one of them, his name's Einstein, and he always looks like he wants to like be nice to you, and then as soon as you get close, he just hawks a loogie right on your face. So.
Dude, bro, what the hell?
Well, he aims for your face. He doesn't always get you, but he tries. But
Punch that thing in its face.
it's just different. It's a lot smellier than reptiles, and they're a lot more personable. But there's like there's a pig named Stevie. He's like super nice, and you can go in with him and pet him and stuff. And he's like 400 pounds, and he's just a big teddy bear. So that's been nice to start something different. And tomorrow I actually got the fitness test for City of El Paso. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah, are you like getting money for it or whatever?
Yeah, it's like a city employee. They want you to be they want you to be fit, so they're like encouraging you to go out and be part of like, I don't know, they just want you to be fit. So there's like a big test that like you have to score an 8 out of 10 if you want 150 like average. And then I don't know what the other ones are, but there's $150. So I'm trying to go for an 8 out of 10, and there's six like.
I mean, that's easy money. It should be.
It is easy money. I went and trained for it 2 or 3 days ago for the running part, which is a 1.5 mile, just your best time you can get. And I ran a mile in like 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And I asked Trey, who's a big marathon guy, if that's good, and he said that was slow. But of course, he's a marathon guy.
7:15 slow as fuck.
That's not that slow though. I looked up on Google and they said average is like, for a fit guy, average is like 7 to 8 minutes. So I was like, okay. And all I have to do is get it in 10. I have to get 1.5 miles in 10 minutes. So I could have ran 2 more laps.
Holy shit.
I could have ran 2 more laps in, what is that, 1.5 more, or 2.5 more minutes? I could have done it.
Dude, 1.5 miles in 10 minutes is tough.
Is that? Yeah, I know that they make it a little hard. They don't want you to get that money easily. But you're forgetting.
But I think I could do it for $150.
That's what I'm saying. Like just like when me and you ran the yo-yo.
Yeah. Shout out Rachel.
Rachel Palazzo, yeah. we were not in running shape. You more than me, probably we were. And we were dead at like 15, but our pride was like, we're gonna keep going until we die.
Yep.
That's gonna be me. Because
Did Rachel even make it?
when we ran it,
Yeah, she stopped, didn't she?
I think she did,
And you
or
kept going?
she stopped at like 26 or something, or 25. I can't remember. I think Mackenzie was there too. But
I mean, you low-key were just competing against each other, really.
it was, yeah, we were barely
Yeah,
making
yeah.
it. That's why I'm like surprised
When
when
we
I.
got to 30, we were like, all right, let's talk, bitch.
That's why I was surprised that, like, I hear some people getting like 40s and whatnot. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah, but if we were in shape, we could get 40s.
yeah, if I was in baseball running shape for sure, because pitchers ran a lot more. But
And just imagine how long our legs are compared to those girls.
exactly, we just had a few strides. But so there's the 1.5 mile, and then there's the 300-meter dash, which I remember in the Lewiston Challenge at baseball, we had to run a 400-meter dash, and I got it in like 54 seconds, I think, and which is pretty good. And then I think I have to get an 8 out of 10 for 300 meter, I have to get it in like 51 seconds. So I think it's doable. It's 100 less meters, so I should be okay in that. And then there's vertical jump, which I haven't jumped in. What have I had to jump for? You know, I haven't jumped in a while. But I texted Spurgeon, my old pitching coach, and I asked him, hey, what was my vertical? Do you remember? And he's like in the 30s, and I was like, okay, I should be okay. Because I think an 8 out of 10, you need like a 29 or 28 or something like that, so I should be okay.
That's easy.
And then there's push-ups in a minute, which I need to get at least 51, I believe, to get an 8 out of 10. And I've been doing it lately, and I've been getting like in the 50s, like 51 to 55.
And how long?
Huh?
How long do you have to do those, like 51 or whatever?
Which one? The push-ups?
Yeah.
Push-ups in a minute, yeah. So you have a minute to get as many as you can.
Jeez, dude, that's hard too.
I mean, we had to do that for baseball as well.
Yeah, but it was still hard.
Yeah, it was, but like I'm so worried that they're gonna be like super Nazi about it and like make me extend all the way because there's no shot I'm getting 51 straight up all the way down all the way back up. There's no way. Like my chest would be dead after 20.
Pretty sure I got like 46 when we did baseball because I actually did correct push.
I got like within the mid 40s or mid 50s, and I was getting kind of ugly at the end, and I remember Spurgeon was telling me that. But then you see Ben's was on my team, and Ben's like, yeah, I got 120. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no shot, dude. I was like, how? And you see, I was
did not care.
Yeah, I was like, who was watching you? He was like, Martin. I look over at Martin. He's just texting. I go, what'd you get? All right, sounds good. Like, I didn't bitch too much just because he was on my team, but I still was like, that's bullshit. I should have had more.
Me and Claudia were the only ones that did him right on the position player side.
Yeah, it was horseshit, but that's why I'm worried that they're going to be Nazis about it because I've seen like videos of it, and they put like a block on the ground where you have to touch your chest, and then, which that's not the bad part. It's like if I have to extend all the way, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think my strategy going in for that, what I've been doing lately, is going super in close, like tricep push-ups, bust out as many of those as I can, and then as soon as those get tired, I just keep spreading my arms out wider and wider, using my chest more.
Yeah, that's what I did for the baseball one, actually.
I feel like that's the strategy because your chest will get tired before your triceps, so you want to burn your triceps first, and then just muscle out some ugly shoulder/chest push-ups.
Yep.
So I think like even if I don't get like 51, if I'm gonna get like 48 or something like that, that's still gonna be like 7.5 out of 10, which is good because it's an average score out of 10. So I got to get an average of 8. And then there's sit-ups in a minute, which I have to get like 48 of those, I think, to get an 8. And I've been getting like 54, so I should be okay in that.
That should be pretty easy.
But like again, I don't know how Nazi they're gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna make me like put my arms across my chest, like don't get any momentum, or like how far my back has to, like if my back has to touch all the way and my abs like let go, you know what I mean, instead of staying constant tension, that's gonna be tough. If they can if I just have to barely touch my lower back to the ground and then go up, then I'll be all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then possibly my favorite will be the 1 rep bench press. So and it goes by body weight. And I've been lighter lately. I've been like 188 to 191. So, but
you weigh?
Huh?
That's all you weigh?
I know, yeah. I've dropped a little bit because I walk so much at work, just burning so much. But it's weird. I am bigger and I'm stronger, so I don't know why I'm losing weight, but it's weird. But it'll work out in my favor because if I weigh like 205 pounds and I'm only benching like 250, then I won't look as good as if I'm 188 and I'm benching 250. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, if they make me touch my chest, I'm fucked because I don't do that. So I don't know and all the videos I've seen, they're touching their chest. So I might be able to bust out 225 touching my chest, maybe. So it's a big maybe. So I'm a little nervous.
Definitely gonna have to push your chest.
I'm going to tell them. I'll be like, hey, I've never done that. Can I please not do that? I don't know if they'll let me. I doubt it. I have not practiced touching my chest at all because I didn't want to hurt myself.
You better go somewhere tomorrow and do it.
Tomorrow's the fitness test.
Yeah, in the morning.
It is in the morning.
No, well, then you're fucked, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. My pride and my adrenaline will just and pre-workout will just push me through it, and I think I'll do fine.
You got any more transparent labs? That's what you need, bro.
I wish I'd freaking snort that shit. You kidding me? I have straight beta alanine and a bang. That's all I'm gonna have.
I never snorted that stuff, and I'm glad I did because I think I'd be on cloud nine if I did.
What the labs? Transparent labs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
That would have been crazy shit, dude.
But so yeah, I'm gonna show up, short shorts, leggings, nice tank top. I'm gonna have a fun time tomorrow. And what's the worst part is I have to go to work right after. So I'm gonna be tired as shit. I know, I'm gonna be so tired. But my boss just told me she's gonna put me on projects all day, so at least I won't be doing too much shit. That's all that matters.
All right, well, fuck all this shit. Let's get into some football.
Yeah,
dude.
let's get into some football. All right, folks. Sorry we got into a little. This isn't just football. We get into a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, I know. But it's mainly football. Come on.
first thing I want to get into is Stephon Diggs saying he wants to stay in Minnesota. Hey yo, you saw that?
Bro, I mean, he loves the Vikes, dude. He loves Minnesota. He just him and Kurt just had a misunderstanding, and Kurt threw him like 3 passes, and it's okay now. It's all good.
Yeah, everyone's making a big deal because in the audio, Stephon Diggs winked when they. So you want to be in Minnesota? He's like, yeah, I want to be in Minnesota. Then he winked. It's like, but if you know Stephon Diggs, he winks at like every reporter because he's a horny bastard. I don't know.
Also, that's why I'm starting Diggs this week, because he's gonna go fucking off this week. Just watch. Mark my word, Diggs is going off this week.
I mean, I said he was going off last week because I thought they were going to force feed him the ball, but he'll be all right. I think.
They force-feeded fucking Thielen the ball, bro.
I know Thielen looked nice. I was hype about that.
They're
Yeah,
gonna start doubling Thielen, and Diggs is gonna get it.
I'm still surprised that their projections are so low in fantasy. Eagles' corners aren't even that good. That's why I'm a little surprised on that.
All right, I mean an honest opinion before we move on.
All right.
I have Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers in my other league. Who do I start?
Russell Wilson. Aaron Rodgers has been a huge disappointment.
Yep, yes, bro. But the Browns' defense has they got exposed last week on the running game.
Russell Wilson is an
had
MVP candidate. Russell Wilson's an MVP frontrunner right now. He has 12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He's amazing.
So you think he's still going to sling it no matter what?
Yes.
Man, I hope, dude. I fucking hope.
He's going to feed Tyler Lockett, Will Dissly, that big Ole Miss.
He's good, dude. I picked him off the waivers like 3 weeks ago in our league.
Dissly is good. It's because Russell Wilson likes tight ends. That's why I was surprised Jimmy Graham didn't do so good there. Jimmy Graham hasn't been good since New Orleans, but no, Aaron Rodgers has been a huge disappointment in fantasy this year. It's just because they're running the ball more. I don't know.
Yeah, Aaron Jones looks good, dude.
Dude, free Aaron Jones. I love that guy. I had so many people offer him in our league to get him, and I just didn't want to give him up. I almost did last week. I just think he's way too good. But watch, this week he'll score like 15.
So what's your script? What's your script looking like?
Well, I was going to say a fun fact that McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook have more total yards than the Jets offense right now.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, not combined either.
No, not combined. I think McCaffrey has 842 compared to the Jets 712, and then Cook has like 740 something compared to the Jets 712. It's unbelievable. But the Jets did have a bye week, but still, you should be producing more than that.
Yeah, the Jets suck. I mean, Sam Darnold has been out, which I don't like Sam Darnold anyways, but he still has been out. So.
But what's interesting is even that's how you can tell how good and how valuable Sam Darnold is to the Jets, because even last year the Jets sucked, but they were in so many shootouts. Like, they didn't win them all, but they were still like in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when he comes back, the games will get way more competitive. I just don't think they're going to be able to win a lot of them. So, and I'm hoping Le'Veon Bell keeps getting the ball for my other league. But I got some headlines here. I wanted to start that a little section here for the FIO podcast, headlines. And we can just talk about some of the headlines going on in sports right now. Probably the biggest one in the last few days has been Richard Sherman, the Dapgate. Yeah, have you heard about that?
The what?
The Dapgate? That's what they're calling it now. Like Deflategate.
Like saying shit to
Baker.
Baker, yeah.
Yeah, where he said that he didn't hit him, he didn't dap him up, but then there's a video proof that he did. But then he goes on the Pat McAfee show, Richard Sherman does, and pretty much just stands by his words. He says my bad, but he was referring to like the way he dapped him up. Like he didn't it wasn't a respectful one, you know what I mean? But
yeah. Like it was just like, what's up, bro?
And he even like admitted he was just trying to look for motivation. He was like, I looked for anything, and that was like all I needed. And then he got an interception on the first series. So
yeah, but like he apologized and shit, which I wouldn't apologize. Fuck that, man.
I mean,
you can't apologize for that, man. You're just trying to get hype.
I know, but it still made Baker look bad. Like Baker just got blown out, had probably the worst game he'll ever have in his career, and then on top of that, he looked like a terrible guy, not shaking hands and stuff, like making him look disrespectful. So I was on Baker's side for that one, even though I don't have a problem with what Richard Sherman did.
Bro, Baker sucks.
Hot take.
At Victor Franco, I already texted him this week. Baker sucks.
Yeah, he's getting dropped in a lot of leagues, I'm seeing. But
well, it's just everybody has tape on that man now. I said this last year. I said he's gonna be good this year. Talking about last year, he's gonna be good last year. I said, but next year it's gonna be a whole different ball game. Everybody's gonna have tape on him. He's gonna fucking feel himself with OBJ and fucking Jarvis. And look at him now, bro. Look at him now.
I mean, wasn't it? What was it? What was his QBR rating for this game? It was like
he hasn't been over 100 but one time all year.
I think his QBR was a 15. I think
this past game
it was a 15, yeah. And there was a stat: if you dropped back and spiked the ball on every attempt, you would have a QBR of 39.
Yeah, you don't have any interceptions or anything.
Yeah,
ball incompletions.
Yeah, anything like that. So that's pretty bad.
That's fucking hilarious. Fucking Baker Mayfield. He's literally looking at me on my screen right now. Looking at that shit.
What is he? It's 19 career starts, 22 interceptions. So, I mean, people did say they saw a lot of Brett Favre in him. I just didn't think it was that much, the interceptions part.
No.
Speaking of, it's Brett Favre's birthday today. Big 5-0.
Oh, turning 50?
Yeah, 50 years old. Greatest Vikings quarterback of all time.
Yo, bro. Greatest Viking quarterback of all time.
I love pissing off Packers fans by saying that. So true.
I mean, he is probably the greatest Vikings quarterback of all time.
I mean, we had one of our best seasons with him. It just it ended so badly. Not a lot of Vikings people like to talk about it. Just with that horrible interception with the Saints. Anyway, next headline. Antonio Brown says the Patriots, quote, owe him, so they might as well sign him. Your thoughts?
Exactly. My thoughts, I feel you, AB.
Dude, fuck AB.
I mean, fuck AB, but I'll pick him up in the BFL. So.
I have him on my bench just in case. You never know. You never know, man.
Let's be honest. We haven't heard another thing about all the rape allegations and shit like that since he got released. We haven't heard shit.
Yeah, because he's been quiet. It's the whole thing that he wants the spotlight. He misses it. He's irrelevant right now, so he's like, oh, let me say something and get relevant again.
I mean, if I'm the Patriots, I'm signing him.
I know, but there's like...
Right. They're right. He's right. They have to pay him regardless. He got $9 million guaranteed.
There's like a problem though, like because if you sign him, then the NFL dropped the investigation once he's not on a team. Once he's on a team, they had to open it back up again, and then it's just weeks until that's processed. So there's like no point in signing him because then they owe him like $9 million if they sign him.
A few weeks and then chop him again.
If they sign him, they have to pay him like $9 million or was it like $6 million? Because like they cut him like a day before they were gonna have to pay him.
I mean, they still have to pay.
I think they paid him $500,000. That's all they paid him. They didn't pay him anything more.
They have to pay him more than that. They signed a contract, dude.
I know, that's the point. That's why it was like a certain amount of days he had to be on the team without any disruptions before he got guaranteed money, and they cut him a day, like the day before they had to give him guaranteed money. Kind of bull on their part.
It is bull.
But I bet if he left, but then don't you remember? Because once he left, he started calling everybody out on Twitter. So I bet if he, like, including Robert Kraft. So I bet if he didn't do that, they would have been like, all right, here, we'll throw you a bone. Here's $6 million. You know, stay out of trouble. Go get a haircut.
Yeah, dude, his hair's fucking ugly.
Another headline: Rob Gronkowski debuts as an ESPN analyst for the Pats Giants game tonight.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
In 2 minutes, yep.
Hell yeah, Rob.
He's gonna sound so weird, sitting there in a suit, talking.
That's the road to retirement, though, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I really thought that just means right there that he's never coming back to football.
Week 14, they're calling him. He said he'd do it. Week 14.
He's not doing it. That's what he said to Dave Portnoy.
Portnoy, shout out Barstool Sports. Get me on there. But speaking of Brett Favre, Tom Brady passes Brett Favre on an all-time passing yards list. Next up, Peyton Manning.
About fucking time.
It's
He's
time.
the GOAT. He needs to have every stat in the book. Every one of them.
Is Tom Brady the GOAT or is he the LOAT? The luckiest of all time.
Shut up.
Remember on Wide Left when I said that?
Yes. Shut up.
To some NBA, Lonzo and Zion are looking good so far. I know you're a huge Zion fan.
I hate Zion with all my heart.
Because you're a Kentucky fan and he went to Duke.
All he does is run through the lane and dunk. That's all he does.
I believe you said...
You're in the preseason. Good job. You're dunking over people. Wait till you get into the fucking playoffs when big-ass motherfuckers decide, oh, wait, he's not just going to dunk with ease. It ain't going to happen, bro. He's only like 6'5".
He's 6'8".
No, he's not.
Isn't he 6'8"? Hit up Jamie. Jamie, let's look it up. Jamie.
He is 6'7".
6'7", yeah, okay. It's closer to 6'8".
6'7" is not that tall.
Taller than you.
Oh, no shit, buddy.
Didn't you say you could beat him one-on-one? Is that true?
I can 100% beat him one-on-one, bro.
Walk me through how you would beat him. It's a game to 4. Game to 5.
Are we doing ones and twos or twos and threes?
Ones and twos.
Okay.
No, and it's not balls back.
First off, I'm going to be like, Zion, you're a professional NBA player, let me shoot for ball. And he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to shoot for ball, I'm going to fucking make it because I'm a fucking beast, all right?
All right.
I make it, it's my ball first. I'm going to act like I'm driving on this 6'7", big-ass black motherfucker. No offense to anybody, he's just a big motherfucker. Act like I'm driving, step back, hump fake. He's going to jump up in the air because he's going to try and swat my shit. I'm going to fucking lean in, act like he fouls me, shoot it, get an and one because we're calling fouls in our game. We have a professional ref and everything. I'm going to hit the three. When he fouls me, get to the line, I'm going to hit it. That's 3, right?
Yep.
3-0. He's going to do his regular thing. I'm going to play as far back as I can on him because he really can't shoot like that. And when he's going to shoot, and he's going to miss the first one. He's going to come in and get his own rebound because he's big as fuck, and he's going to dunk, right? So it's 3-1. I come in. He's going to play a little bit more up on me, so I'm going to blow past him, step back again, shoot 3. It's a 5-3, or it's a 5-1 ball game. He's going to shoot again, a three-pointer because he's like, Dad, he's up 5-1 already. We're going to 6. And he's going to shoot again, get his own rebound. He's like, dude, I'm just going to have to keep dunking. So he dunks again. I get a turnover. He dunks again. So it's going to be 5-3. It's going to be my ball. And then on everything, I'm just going to surprise everybody in the world and dunk over Zion Williamson for the game point.
But I'm confused. If you already had 5 points, then wouldn't you have already won? I said it's a game to 5.
Oh, you said 5? I thought you said game to 6.
No, I said 4 at first, then I said game to 5. But I guess that was a good explanation if the game was to 6.
Oh, if it was the game to 6, then I would shoot the 3, dunk on him, and then dunk on him again just to fucking rub it in his face. Fuck Zion.
All right, there's our professional analysis on Zion Williamson by Robbie Straub. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, he is good, man, but he's got to show me more than just running through the paint.
I mean, real talk. Is he going to be rookie of the year?
I mean, I don't really know NBA like that, so I don't.
He's got to be the front runner. He's going to be the favorite no matter what.
Obviously, yeah, but I don't know. There's always people that surprise you in the league that wasn't very good in college, you know.
Yeah, don't sleep on Ja Morant. I mean, he was good in college, but don't sleep on him.
Bro, fuck Ja Morant.
Is there anybody you do like?
Nope.
Anthony Davis, Kentucky boy.
Yeah, I like AD.
Is he gonna win a chip with LeBron?
Bro, fuck LeBron.
Robbie loves a lot of basketball players, as you can tell. Yo, you know what shirt I'm wearing right now?
That's why I don't like him. What?
You know what shirt I'm wearing right now?
Release picture shirt.
No, the greatest shirt ever. I just bought it today from Goodwill for a whopping 99 cents. Shout out Goodwill, sponsor me.
You probably didn't even wash it, you nasty ass motherfucker.
Today was laundry day, and no, I bought it after laundry. I already did it. Sorry. It smells clean. It smells like burnt cigarettes. It's all right.
Disgusting.
It's a blue Dilly Dilly shirt. Come on, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's dope. It's sweet.
Hell yeah.
And it's comfortable. I'm going to wear it to work tomorrow. It'll be nice. I know you don't pay attention to baseball, neither do I, but I just want to shout out to the Twins for an amazing regular season, 101 wins, then just a brilliant choke in the playoffs to the New York Yankees like usual. Get swept in the first round. The who?
You're fucking embarrassing the Atlanta Braves last night. I just want to shut the Cardinals out for that, bro. That's fucking crazy.
Put up a 10 spot.
Baseball, the Braves get embarrassed like that in postseason baseball. I mean, they should shut down their entire team.
I mean, it's just ridiculous because you don't usually see a dismantled team like that bad, especially in the first inning.
Yeah, exactly. 10-0 in the first, right?
That's just so disheartening. Doesn't make you want to play anymore after that.
I wouldn't play. If I was on the Atlanta Braves, I wouldn't play anymore. But
the Twins are, just great for Minnesota sports. Classic choking in the playoffs. It's always great.
Bro, the Twins is acceptable. The Yanks are good.
The Twins won 101 games. They broke the regular season home runs in a season record, and they had like 8 different people with 20+ home runs. We were the best hitting team in baseball, best power hitting team.
Minnesota, though.
No, it's pitching. Our pitching sucked, and
Minnesota.
Pitching wins championships, don't ya know? So we got to get rid of some of those guys. I mean, see, baseball has a bigger window, has a longer window than football, for example. Like football, you have like a 3-4 year window to win a championship. You know what I mean? Maybe even less because people, running backs get older and whatnot. With baseball, we have so many guys that are young and so many guys that are like signed to long-term deals for cheap too. So I think we'll be all right.
Just gotta wait it out, man.
We should have got Madison Bumgarner. I'll go to my grave saying we should have got him. That's all I'm saying. And to stay on the topic of baseball, Clayton Kershaw chokes again in the postseason. 7 years in a row the Dodgers have made the postseason. 7 disappointing outings by Clayton Kershaw, who will go down as one of the... What's that?
Saw a meme of Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
He was sitting in the dugout with his head down.
That sucks, man. I
And
feel
it said in quotation marks, it said, when your girl comes home with the XL
Yeah.
hoodie and you wear a medium.
I died at that meme. I loved that meme. But it just sucks because Kershaw was like, I mean, for those who don't know, I was a left-handed pitcher, and I looked up to him. I still do. I mean, he's amazing. So, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, but, man, he just chokes in the postseason. I don't think the Dodgers keep him around, honestly. I think it's time to let him go, maybe to the Twins. I don't know. We'll take him. Choking in the playoffs is our thing, so he can join the club. Why not? But I don't know. It just sucks that it was him and that it was the Twins. But oh well. Baseball sucks.
Baseball does suck.
If
you ain't playing it, baseball sucks.
What's that?
If you're not playing it, the baseball sucks.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta. It's hard to watch. You gotta be able to play baseball over anything. Let's get into our Week 6 picks for the NFL. How about that?
I had that pulled up on my computer. I was waiting for you to say that at any time.
Well, good thing. All right, let's go with the game on right now. Hopefully some people are putting up some points. Giants at Patriots.
Okay, let's next Patriots.
All right, I have a piece of paper, and so because we're gonna start keeping track of this, like my picks versus your picks.
Last week I was like, dude, I missed like 2. That's it.
I don't remember any of my picks because I didn't write them down. So now I'm writing them down. So now for next week, we'll look back at this and we'll see who got more out of it. You know what I mean? And who won between the two of us.
I beat you last week.
For sure, probably, yeah. If you were that confident with your answers, I don't even remember. So I'm going to put a check mark next to the ones that you chose. All right, Panthers at Buccaneers. I'm going Panthers. Panthers.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
Christian McCaffrey's just too good.
Christian McCaffrey is easily one of the. I wouldn't say he's the front runner for MVP, but he's definitely, Russell Wilson in this order. I'd say Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey for MVP right now. Would you agree?
Would you say Russell Wilson, Mahomes, McCaffrey?
Yeah, those in order. I know you don't like Mahomes, but he's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I can agree, man. Russell Wilson's having a hell of a year. I think McCaffrey, I think McCaffrey's before Mahomes, dude. I think McCaffrey, dude, he is fucking killing it. He looks so
he's
good.
just
I wish I had him in fantasy.
He's amazing. He's projected a whopping 26 points in fantasy this week. That's the highest I've ever seen. That's as close to 30 as you're gonna get. If he was playing the Bengals, it'd be 30. That's how it would be.
Yeah.
So, or the Dolphins, he'd be projected 30. They would have to be 26 is ridiculous. The next we got is the shit bowl, the Skins versus the Fins. Who you got? Who's getting their first win?
Who's getting their first dub?
Who's getting the number 1 overall pick is what we should be saying. Whoever loses this game.
Dude, I'm giving it to the Dolphins, man. I think they win this game. The Dolphins win this game. I have no reason for either one of them to win. I'm just guessing the Dolphins.
Do you even know the quarterback of the Dolphins right now?
No, I have no idea. But hey, we'll fucking take it. Do we know the quarterback of the Redskins? There's like 4 of them.
I think it's Colt McCoy this week, or Dwayne Haskins, or Case Keenum.
Yeah.
one of the three.
Dolphins are winning. If Keenum plays, then the Redskins are winning.
All right, well, I'm picking the Skins, so I think the Dolphins. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Dolphins aren't going to win a game all season. I think that they're going to be the only team in history to be undefeated and going to be one of the only teams in history to go winless. So that's just my take on that. Next, Saints at Jags.
Saints all the way, man. Teddy's looking good. Alvin's going to have a great game. Garner Minshew's just not enough. It's just not enough for the Saints, man.
What, you don't like Gardner Minshew?
I do like Garner. Last week I told you I did, bro.
Dude, he's a badass, man. Can't beat the guy.
Yeah, but I mean, the Saints will beat him this week. They got Mike Thomas too, bro. Michael Thomas, huge force, bro. Force to be reckoned with. Telling you.
I've had Michael Thomas in every league every year except this year. I don't have him in any of my leagues. I've begged Kilgore for Thomas, but he always just asks too much, so I can't do it. Can never do it.
He's so good, dude.
I know
he's so good.
And hey, don't count out Teddy Bridgewater though. Teddy Two Gloves, man. I miss that guy.
Teddy B is a good QB, man. He's
3-0. You can't beat it. I mean, I'm also going Saints. I think their defense is underrated, top 5 probably right now. Cameron Jordan's playing like a monster, as well as Marcus Williams and Marshawn Lattimore. They're doing great in the backfield or in the secondary. I'm going to go with Saints as well, so Teddy Bridgewater's going to continue what he's doing. You chose Saints as well. Next, Bengals at Ravens. Is this going to be your upset of the week?
not even close.
You're going Ravens?
Yes, come on, bro.
Yeah, Ravens are too good. Lamar
They
Jackson.
win that division easily.
Yeah, and I
hate to say it.
And I was talking to Nick about this last week, and I told you on Wide Left that Ravens were gonna do something. And he still believes Browns could pull it out. So he's not giving up yet. I asked after every Browns game, I always say, well, let me hear what you have to say. And if they lose, it usually takes a couple days for him to respond. But I'm patient enough, and so he's not in panic mode yet. Even though I think it's time to start panicking. I do not know if Baker is the guy, and I don't think Odell makes their team any better or any worse. It's just a waste of money at this point.
Yep.
Seahawks.
I agree with that, for sure.
We were just talking about the Browns too here. Seahawks at Browns. Who are we going with?
Dude, the MVP frontrunner, the Hawks, baby.
Yeah, go Hawks. I always love them.
Even though I think that they're just gonna give the ball to Chris Carson the whole time, I really hope Russell has a good game.
That's why you're afraid to start him, because you think they're just going to run it all over the Browns?
Yes, did you not see last week? The fucking 49ers ran it all over the Browns. All over.
They have really fast, speedy running backs, so with Mostert, Tevin Coleman, Breida. So, I mean, this is more Chubb. Or, no, we're not talking about Chubb. We're talking about Chris Carson. He does a lot more in the passing game than you think, though. So I think Russ will get his good 3 tutties. He'll get 3 touchdowns before they start running the ball. It'll hit most of his points will come in the first half. It won't come in the second half unless it's a close game. So you better hope that Baker has a good game.
I hope the Browns do keep it close.
I mean,
I still think Seahawks win it easy.
I think in every fantasy game we're hoping every game is a shootout. So
oh yeah, for sure.
So unless you have a dominant running back that doesn't catch the ball, then you probably want them to run the ball a little bit more. I'm also going Ravens. I don't think the Bengals are going to get their first win just yet. Or Seahawks, I'm sorry. Yes, I don't think the Browns are going to. I think the Browns are going to have a rough go before it starts getting easier for them down the road. My game of the week, I'm not being biased at all. I just think this is going to be a great game. Eagles at Vikings. Of course, I'm going Vikings, not being biased at all.
I can agree with that game of the week. It's either that one or there's another one. I'll take the other one for the game of the week.
Okay.
So you go ahead.
Yeah, this is definitely my game of the week. There's a lot of history between these two teams. Finally playing in Minnesota. It's been a while since it's been in Minnesota. Beat them at Philly last year. Was a great statement game for Kirk Cousins. Probably the only big game he won last year, besides maybe the Packers games. But even those were a little iffy. Their defense was really bad. Yeah, I think Carson Wentz is healthy. He's playing at a really high level right now. Alshon Jeffrey's playing good. Nelson Aguilar, Deshaun Jackson's back, even though I think he's bummed up. He's banged up a little bit, so I don't think he's going to play. Vikings, their defense is looking great. They're top 5 in the league right now. I think Pro Football Focus has them ranked 5. And the good thing, the great thing about this Vikings defense is, and I was just thinking about this the other day. The core of the defense, there's about 6 or 7 guys, and you and me being a Vikings fan is why I know them. But they've all played together. They were drafted in Minnesota, and they play in Minnesota. Played in Minnesota their whole careers, and they've been together for like 5 or 6 years now. And I think that's the nucleus is what keeps them. They know each other. They know where they're going to be on the field. They know they can count on each other. And I think that speaks wonders. And that's kind of the intangibles for the defense. And I think this will be a good game. It'll be a close game, and I think Kirk is going to keep doing what he's got to do, and he's going to pull out the win. I go Vikings 24-21. Win by a field goal. What about you?
So you putting all your faith in Dan Bailey, huh?
I don't think he's going to kick the game winner. I think he's going to kick one earlier. I don't want him to be special teams player of the week every week. Although that was nice, we left a lot of points on the board last week against the Giants. So I'd like to continue in the NFC East pounding and beat the Eagles.
Man, I agree with you on everything. I really think Carson Wentz is doing good, just like you said, and Deshaun Jackson being back, you said he's like kind of banged up or whatever, but I still think he helps the Eagles out a lot.
Yeah, he's questionable.
But man, I think Kirk rides on from his good game last week of throwing it, and I don't know the OC. I don't know the OC at the Vikings. Who's the OC at the Vikings?
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, he's gonna keep tossing the ball around.
Got to.
I mean, obviously he's gonna let Dalvin do his thing. Obviously,
Dalvin's a walk-in 20 fantasy points.
Yeah, but man, I hate to do this because I want to disagree on you. I want to disagree with you, but I think the Vikings win in a nail biter.
Yeah,
but I think it's gonna be a little higher scoring, 24-21. I'm going like 31-28.
I mean, in a perfect world, I hope we beat them 38-7 to shut these fucking Eagles fans up once and for all.
George?
Yeah, fuck you, George. Trading Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, fuck you, George.
God, that's so trash. Such a trash trade. But
didn't get vetoed. Should have.
I mean, I vetoed, but it's whatever.
I did too.
Anyway, yeah, I think that's going to be a good game. I think if we go down the line and compare, like, position-wise, I say the Vikings have the edge, just overall talent-wise. But the Eagles' coaching staff is amazing. I mean, give it to the Vikings as well. But, Eagles won a Super Bowl recently, so they still have that same kind of staff. So you can't count them out. Also, Eagles are the worst fans in the NFL. Next game, Texans at Chiefs. Chiefs coming off that big loss to the Colts last week after being only held to 10 points.
Yep.
So
this is one of my upsets here.
This is your upset of the week?
Yes, sir.
And
I called the Colts beating the Chiefs last week.
Don't make me go back and look. I'll go back and listen.
You can play it back. I called it. I said this is one of my upsets of the week. The Colts are beating the Chiefs. I told you that.
Ooh.
I remember. I swear to you.
I think you said 13-10 too, didn't you?
I have no idea what I said.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I think the Texans, dude. Sean Watson's looking on fire. DeAndre Hopkins is finally gonna get some fucking love. They're gonna play some D on Will Fuller, but Deshaun Watson is just gonna fucking toss the ball around like it's his job. The Chiefs defense are not gonna know what to do with him.
It is his job.
Carlos Hyde's gonna have a rushing touchdown because they're gonna be all over all the receivers, and the Texans defense is not bad. You know that. We said that last week.
No,
Texas defense is not bad, and if the Colts defense can hold Pat Mahomes to 10 points, the Texans can hold him to 21. I'm saying 21-28 Texans.
I think it's pretty bold having, like, the Texans are such a great team, but compared to the Chiefs, this is an upset. This is like, it's crazy. That's how good the Chiefs are. That a great team as the Texans would be an upset. Deshaun Watson coming off a huge game. Will Fuller came out of nowhere. He's rostered on everybody's fantasy league now, so that's for sure. I tried to get him, and I wasn't going to be able to get them. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I don't think Patrick Mahomes loses another game like he did before. I think he's gonna bounce back. And
let me make a comment real quick. Didn't you say that the Chiefs were gonna go 16-1 or something?
I said they were gonna go 15-1 and lose to the Vikings.
Yep.
So now it's gonna be 14-2. But I can change it whenever I want. I don't think Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid lose 2 games in a row. I just don't think that's happening. I think the analytics speak in Andy Reid's favor. I don't think it's going to happen, especially at Arrowhead. Especially at Arrowhead, it's going to be rough. I don't have a score, but it's going to be a high scoring. I know that because the Chiefs' defense isn't that good and the Texans' secondary isn't that good. So it doesn't matter how good their front is if Patrick Mahomes is slinging it out there. So It's gonna be a very high scoring game. Very good for fantasy owners for anybody that are on the Texans or the Chiefs. Except if you have their defenses, you might not want to stream them.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Might not be a good one there. Next, Falcons at Arizona Cardinals.
Dude, what about the Falcons, man?
They are just. I mean, they do this every year. You know, they have the players. They start out. I mean, they started out with an L this year to the Vikings, but you know they had that really good comeback win. Who was it against the Browns? No, it wasn't. I have no idea. In week 2, where Julio Jones had that long touchdown for the game winner.
Yep.
So I mean, they've had some good moments. They have great players, but their defense has always been trash. It's the same thing. Matty Ice is becoming less and less clutch in his career, and it's just the Julio Jones show. That's all it ever really is. And now Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's coming out.
Clutch.
Matty Ice is still clutch. Is that what you said?
Has he ever been clutch?
That Super Bowl run, he had some pretty good wins. I don't know. But I'm going Cardinals here. This could be an upset. I guess we can consider this an upset that the Cardinals only have one win, so I guess that's going to be an upset for me. I wouldn't say it's really my upset of the week, but it's definitely an upset. I think Kyler Murray bounces off that win last year, or last week.
I also called that win last week.
You called every win. I'm gonna go back and listen to this and just see how.
I didn't call the Falcons. The Falcons were supposed to beat. Who did they play?
The Panthers or something? No,
the Texans.
Texans.
Falcons beat the Texans.
The Texans beat the shit out of them. So
they still put up a lot of points. It's just the Texans put up more points.
Yeah. So who are you going? Falcons, Cardinals. Battle of the Birds.
Falcons, man.
Falcons. All right.
I'm still gonna pick the Falcons. I was wrong last week, but by God, I'm gonna be right this week.
Still betting on the Falcons. All right. 49ers at Rams.
This is my game of the week.
Yep, I figured it would be. This is me. I marked this down as my other game of the week.
I would like to know the spread. I'm gonna look up the spread real quick. You
give my analysis.
You say whatever. You go with your pick first.
I'm going LA Rams. I don't think Sean McVay and Jared Goff have only lost twice in a row. I think one other time, and I don't think they're going to make it a third time. So they're not losing 3 straight games. So I'm definitely going Rams. And this is in LA. Jared Goff. He's gonna start. He's gonna earn his money this game. He's gonna have a huge game. Hopefully, he's my fantasy quarterback, so I'm gonna be rooting for him. Cooper Kupp, monster game. But the 49ers, man, they are a different animal this year. Their defense is amazing. Nick Bosa in the front, dominated the Browns' front line the entire time. 49ers are no joke, man. I tweeted about this. Like, it's scary to watch them because I remember last week I was like, oh wait, the 49ers are good. They're 3-0 right now. And now they're 4-0, sitting at 4-0. They're only undefeated team with the Patriots. But I believe the Rams will hand them their first L of the year. So yeah, I'm going Rams in a nail biter though. It will be high scoring.
I agree. I hate it. I want to root for the 49ers, and I'm still going to root for the 49ers, but I think the Rams, just like you said, I don't think McVay takes 3 straight L's. I just don't think it happens.
Yeah, it can't
He's
happen.
He's too good of a coach. Goff is, I think Goff's pretty good. And, I picked the Rams last week, and they lost. They lost by 1. But they did cover the spread, and I said that I would bet the Rams in the spread.
Yep.
Also, the spread for this game is Rams by 3.
Ooh.
So,
the Rams were so close last week, though.
The Rams have to win by 3 to cover that spread. So they would have to win by 4, is what I mean. So they would have to win by a touchdown.
That Rams-Seahawks game
or 2 safeties.
Was an amazing game. That was the Thursday night game too last week.
Yeah, it was such a good game.
And and it came down to Greg the Leg missing a field goal, man. So it was that close to the Rams winning.
What about that, dude?
Crazy, man.
I cannot believe it. I can't believe it.
And I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything that might be wrong. But I believe we said something about him missing a kick in our podcast last week.
We 100% did.
I thought we said something like he's going to choke or something. I'm going to have to go back and listen. But it was something about Greg the Leg. So, he still put up a lot of fantasy points. But, yeah, you can't hang your head that much. It wasn't a Blair Walsh. It was wide right, not wide left. So, it was all right. I don't think a lot of people are going to be sending him death threats like Minnesota was sending Blair Walsh. So, it's okay. But yeah, that was an amazing game, and I just think the Rams are so close to winning that game. I think that They're gonna have to win this game. It'll be close though, but they're gonna win.
I think they win.
Maybe Greg the Leg will get the game winner this time.
Maybe, hopefully.
Next game, this is my most boringest game of the week. I'm going Titans at Broncos. Who the fuck cares? This is my who the fuck cares game of the week. Mariota versus Joe Flacco. Woohoo!
No, it's more like Derrick Henry versus the entire Broncos defense.
I'd rather watch the shit bowl with the Skins and the Fins.
I don't know. I mean, Titans. I'm going to take Titans.
You're taking Titans?
Derrick Henry's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, he's big. He's a big guy.
That's all I got to say. That's the only reason.
But
Derrick
it sucks.
Henry is a big motherfucker.
He just doesn't get in the end zone, and he doesn't catch balls. So, like, literally, he gets 100 rushing yards and 25 attempts every week. You go on fantasy, he only's got, like, 11 points. He puts up great stats. He just doesn't finish, man. So,
Well, we have bonuses in the BFL.
yeah. Titans are weird, man. They'll blow out the Patriots and then, lose to the Broncos. It's something like that. So, you just don't know which team is going to show up. I'm going to guess that they're going to hold the L this week. I think me and Joe Flacco coming off that big win against the Chargers and Phillip Rivers with Melvin Gordon back. I think that's a big. That was a who the fuck cares about that game too? It was 20-13. I watched Colin Cowherd and he was like, "This is the game nobody watched. I didn't watch it, so I'm not going to talk about it because I have know nothing that happened." That's going to be this one. I'm not going to watch 1 minute of that game unless something happens. So. Yeah, I'm going Broncos. You're going Titans. I like how we're at least having diversity this time. We agreed too much on the last one, so here's another good game: Cowboys at Jets.
You think that's a good game, huh?
I'm in Texas now, man. I have to say the Cowboys game is good.
Cowboys win very, very easily. Hopefully, Michael Gallup has 2 TDs.
Are you starting him?
Yep.
In our league or BFL? Are you starting him in our league or the BFL?
The BFL.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going Cowboys by $1 billion as well. Like we were saying earlier, Jets aren't competitive without Sam Darnold. I hope Le'Veon Bell gets his.
Sam Darnold is back this week, though.
Is Sam Darnold back? Oh God, I look like I don't know shit.
Yep.
That's what happens when you work Sundays. You don't know shit that goes on.
I know something Mason Kleiss doesn't. What's up, boy?
Shoot, then this might be an upset. I think this will be a closer game than we think, but I'm still going Cowboys. I'm not going to change my pick. This will no wonder Le'Veon Bell's projected way more points this week because Sam Darnold's back. It'll make him a lot better. Steelers at Chargers. It's safe to say Mason Rudolph will not be playing in this game. Rip.
I'm going with the Steelers because they want to come back and they want to beat the shit out of the Chargers because
of Mason Rudolph
got fucked up.
Oh my!
Juju Smith fucking receives for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Who's going to be the quarterback now? I have no idea who it would be.
I don't know, but he's just going to throw it to Juju every time.
Juju and James Conner, hopefully.
I'm going to say the Steelers, though, for real. Mike Tomlin's going to get them together and be like, let's do it for Mason.
And Ben. Do it for everybody.
And Big Ben.
Yeah. I'm going Chargers. I think that Phillip Rivers is not going to lose back-to-back games right now. The Chargers are too good. They got Melvin Gordon back. They got Austin Eckler catching 15 balls for 86 yards. Unbelievable for a running back. He's basically a receiver. Keenan Allen, they're not going to be able. The Broncos did a good job at stopping Keenan Allen last week, but the Steelers have no corners, so I think Keenan Allen's going to have a monster game. Chargers by $1 billion. And this is this next game, Lions at Packers. This is the last game.
Is this your upset of the week?
This is my upset of the week. Lions. Don't sleep on these Lions, man. They're good.
I'm going to. I'm going to sleep on them all night.
Yeah, you just like A-Raj.
No, I don't. I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers.
Isn't he better?
I just think he manages the game too well, and whenever he needs to do what he needs to do, he does it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the Aaron Jones show now. It's the other Aaron.
Yeah, you're right. Aaron Jones is a fucking beast, dude. The Packers beat Lions single-handedly, like it's nothing, like it's light work. Matt Stafford, all he has is stats. Look at the new Gridiron Heights fucking video. All he has
I love
is
those.
stats.
I love those videos. I need to go watch the newest one. I think that Matt Stafford is playing way better than he has the last few years for sure. I think Matt Patricia is definitely got that defense playing way better. So I think they're going to be able to contain Aaron Jones, but not be able to stop him. I think that Devontae Adams is back this week, so they're going to throw the ball a little bit more. Maybe try and force feed him, Geronimo Allison, one of the two. But I think Kerryon Johnson, man, you can't sleep on Kerryon Johnson. You can't sleep on Marvin Jones. These guys are ballers. I think the Lions are going to be able to pull this one out. I think they're going to pull this one out of their ass.
I hope the Lions pull this one out, but nope, not happening, I don't think. I just don't see it, brother.
Well, all right. There is our Week 6 picks. Write them down. I already did. I'm going to take a picture of it. We're going to go over it next week and see who got what picks right and who got what picks wrong. I think to end the show, this week's show, we're going to go top 5 running backs currently, just because the running backs have been tearing up the league, and there's just been so many talk lately about who's the best, who's top 5 right now, because it's a close race. It's definitely different this year than it was, completely different this year than it was last year around this time. Todd Gurley tearing up the league last year. Now he's basically irrelevant in that offense, only getting minimal 10 touches a game. So
I still think he's top 5, but
wow, you have him in your top 5. What spoiler alert?
No, I still think he's top 5.
Oh, he's got the potential for sure, but he's just.
You know what I mean? I'm not in here saying if we're doing fantasy wise, then let's just do top 5 fantasy running backs. You know what I mean?
But I feel like my top 5 running backs correlate to fantasy. Like that means if they're doing good in fantasy, they're doing good in real life in non-fantasy. Like I know what you're gonna say. Like Austin Eckler's rated number 2 running back right now. But obviously I wouldn't put him in my top 5. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right. So you want me to do? Should we do it like we did on wide left? 1, 1, 2, 2, or 5, 5, 4, 4?
Sure, we can do that if you want.
First,
I don't even know my 5.
Damn.
Let's just do. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, I'm going number 5, Alvin Kamara. He's been unbelievable this year, just like he has every year. He's taken a step back, I would say, without his main man Mark Ingram to be there. He's taking more snaps, but he's not getting as many. He's not getting as many looks in the passing game, I would say, as he was in previous years. He's not the main focal point of the offense, I would say. I would say Michael Thomas is right now in that passing game, honestly. But he's still an amazing athlete. And my honorable mention, which I almost put 5, was Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is taken off, and I think that he could easily be a top 5 running back by the end of this year. I just need to see more from him. What about you?
Man, 5. I'm probably gonna go. Gosh. I'm probably gonna go 5. I'm gonna go 5. Nick Chubb.
Nice.
And because I do like him, and I'm gonna go honorable mention of mine is Leonard Fournette. I think
Fournette's been tearing it up.
Why Nick Chubb isn't in your top 5, Leonard Fournette? He's just,
plays for the Jags.
Yeah. But Nick Chubb plays for Cleveland. But I think Fournette has just kept going up. He just keeps going and keeps going, and I really want to trade for him really bad because I think he's just going to keep being a beast, honestly.
I already offered Nick Boys. He has not texted me back, so I'm guessing he doesn't want to get rid of him. But I just always worry about injuries, but he's been very healthy this year, knock on wood. So hopefully he keeps that up because he definitely makes Gardner Minshew a lot better too, and will make Nick Foles better once he gets back. Number 4, David Johnson for me. He's finally healthy, finally back to that RB1 status for fantasy. He takes a lot of pressure off of Kyler Murray, and that's why I think that's going to be he'll be a focal point in their victory this week, hopefully. So yeah, he's a walking 18 points in fantasy.
Let me go on and say I don't have David Johnson in my top 5, but he's up there. He's like Leonard Fournette. Just because again, he plays for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I think he's back because he plays for the Cardinals, and they have literally it's just him and Larry Legend. I feel like they don't throw it to anybody else. They don't do anything else.
Christian Kirk gets some looks.
Christian Kirk, yeah, but
but that's all right.
Does David Johnson even have like an RB2, or is it just him?
It's just him. I wouldn't be able to tell you who their RB2 is, but
yeah, I don't watch the fucking Cardinals.
He's a 3-down back for sure.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
My number 4 is going to be Kamara, and he's just, you can say he has had an off year, but he's still so fucking good.
Dude. PPR legend.
Do what?
He's a PPR legend, man.
He is, and bro, he's so good. And even when, like, late in the game last week, dude, like, I would look up and then look back down at my phone, and he had just, like, a 15-yard run. Like, it was nothing. And then, like, I look up, you look down, he's got, like, a 18-yard run. Like,
yeah. He's just so slippery.
To feed Kamara the ball, that man does things, dude. He doesn't go down ever. Like, the best you can do is just push him out of bounds. Most of the time, the best you can do is push him out of bounds.
Yeah, and for not being a big guy, he does not like to go down. He's very slippery.
Yeah, he's so good, and I think he's number 4 right now.
My number 3 will be Ezekiel Elliott. I think that Cowboy guy. Finally got paid. He's just their bell cow, man. He's their workhorse. He's their best player on the team. You could say it's Amari Cooper. You could try and convince me that it's Dak Prescott, but it's obviously Ezekiel Elliott being the best in the focal point of that offense, and he's a walk-in 20 points. He's amazing.
I think Zeke should be arguably the best running back right now in the league, but I got him at 3 too. But for sure, he's the best. He's the best running back there, and arguably the best running back in the league, hands down. He catches, he runs, he pass blocks, he does everything, and I kind of want to put him in front of my next guy just because he can pass block, and the next guy gets fucked up when a linebacker or a DN comes in and fucking tries to rush Kirk.
Ooh, Kirk, you already talked about it. Yeah, that's going to be I think we're going to have similar number 2s, and my number 2 will be Dalvin Cook. Cooking up the league right now. 700+ all-purpose yards. Number 2 in rushing right now. He's amazing, and I think we're pretty agreeable on the number 2 and 1. And number 1, yeah.
I got Dalvin at 2, and I got McCaffrey at 1.
Christian McCaffrey at 1. Super. Yeah, if you have half a brain, you're gonna choose at least Christian McCaffrey number 1. I could see how people won't put Dalvin number 2, but don't want to give him credit. But in a run first offense, it doesn't matter. Like last week, he got a minimum attempts that he's gotten in the past, or minimal touches, and he did actually more with. That's why I feel like we can pass the ball a little bit more, because he does so much with any amount of touches that he gets. So
yeah, I like Dalvin running game, but I saw on ESPN they were fucking. It was Rex Ryan. He was fucking Dalvin up about his pass blocking and stuff like that. He's like, Rex Ryan was like, it's not all Kirk's fault. And he's like, dude, look at what Dalvin did to this freaking pass block right here. A DN just runs in, and Dalvin just gets out of his way, and he sacks Kirk. And and Kirk fumbles it. Like, what is going on, dude? If you're going to be a good running back in this league, you're going to be a top 5 running back, you have to do everything.
Yeah.
You got to be able to take on the biggest of the baddest.
Yeah, that's why.
You can't be scared. If you're going to run the football up the middle between the tackles and try and run over the biggest and the baddest, then why can't you take them when they're coming in and try to protect the quarterback?
Yeah, that's definitely why you could put Zeke over Dalvin. His blocking is impeccable. Nobody's running Zeke over, so
no.
He's too big of a guy. But I will say, Dalvin has had some trouble blocking in the past. I will say on that play, I know which play you're talking about. He went out for a pass. That was that's why he got out of the way. He was supposed to chip him though, and he didn't chip him, so that is his fault. But there was a play in the Giants game. Landon Collins. The safety that they just got from the Browns that we were talking about for wide left. Why can't I think of his name? He plays everywhere. Number 22. Help me out, Rob. The safety for the Giants, and he was on the Browns. Remember, they traded for him. He was on the Browns.
Oh my God!
I know you're thinking of the same guy. I know it's He went to Michigan. That guy blew him up and and sacked Kirk.
Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers. Sorry, folks, for me fucking having a brain
that's
fart.
really bad.
We
should have known that.
I know. We talked about him on Wide Left so much. He bulldozed Dalvin, like pushed him over into Kirk and sacked Kirk. It was like the most amazing play I've ever seen.
Dude, the Patriots defense has 21 points right now.
Already?
A touchdown, an interception, and a block.
Yeah, they're the number one rated. I think I don't know if they're number one fantasy, but they're number one rated defense right now, which is unfair when you have Brady as your quarterback.
I'm playing against fucking the Patriots defense too.
Damn.
I can't catch a fucking break in fantasy this year, dude.
That should be your name. Even though I like your name right now.
Catch a fucking break.
I like FIO better. It works a lot better. And as we were saying, Christian McCaffrey, one of the front runners for MVP. I think he's so electrifying.
Now, if we had to name an MVP, it would be Christian McCaffrey for me.
I just think, and people say quarterback's definitely the most important position, but I would say running back is just a lot harder. It's harder on your body. It's harder to get yards, harder to get stats. You know what I mean? So he is, and if we're going off most valuable, I think the Chiefs are still a great team without Patrick Mahomes. They have great weapons. You know, any quarterback could be at least 8-8 with that team. You take Russ off the Seahawks, they're pretty bad, but you take Christian McCaffrey off the Panthers, they're terrible. So, because they're doing it with Kyle Allen as their quarterback, this should make Cam Newton look terrible. This makes Cam Newton look terrible.
Kyle Allen's looking good, bro. Don't sleep on my mans.
I know, but it's making Cam look like terrible.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Cam Newton's on a different team next year. Would not.
Dude, fuck Cam Newton.
Would not be surprised one bit. And it's Christian McCaffrey's team now. It's not Cam's team, and I think he knows that. And I think it's hurting his ego a little bit. Maybe he shouldn't have gone vegan. Go eat a fucking burger, Cam. Goddamn. He used to be big as shit. Now he's just tall and ripped. That's like, you ain't gonna run anybody over looking like that.
Bro, but he's looking good though. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he's aesthetic. That's all that matters.
That's all I strive to be, man.
Well, this has been a great podcast, Rob. Great episode 2 for the FIO podcast. I think this one will sound a lot better as well. So,
hell yeah, man. Love you, dude.
Love you too, man. And I appreciate everybody who's been listening to this. I think we had 30 views on the last one, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think 20 of them were me, so.
I think 5 of them were me.
Yeah, 5 were you. So
we got fucking 5 views.
Yeah, so that's
hell
yeah, dude. So that's all that matters.
Probably 3 of them were B-led.
Yeah, maybe B-led in there too. But all right, well, catch you next week then. I guess we got a game to watch right now, huh?
Yes, sir. We do.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening, and don't forget, figure it the fuck out.